All right, we're going to draw the last few pieces of the gumball machine this week. We're going to make the top, we're going to make the barrel, and we're going to make the gutter. So we'll go ahead and get started with the top. We're going to click our young scout here and delete him. And then we will go to the Views menu and select Top View. So we'll click on that top view icon right there. And then we'll come over to the rectangle tool, go to origin, and draw a rectangle that is 7.5 by 3. So 7.5 comma 3, and press return. And that gives us that 7 by 3 rectangle. Of course, we want to zoom in, so Shift Z will take care of that. And we're going to go ahead and orbit the drawing a bit. So we'll get our orbit tool, click and roll it up like this, and pull it up using the push-pull tool. We're going to pull it up 0.75. So once again, 0.75, pull it up, press return. All right, so like we did with the top view, we're going to orbit. We're focusing on this corner right here. So we're going to zoom in and create a series of guides. So we'll get our tape measure tool to do that. And we'll click on the top, come down 1/16 of an inch. From that guideline, we're going to come down 3/16 of an inch. And again, from that guideline, 3/16 of an inch. Notice how that's blue and not green. That's a big difference between blue and green. We are coming down on blue axis. Make sure that you are paying attention to that you're coming down on blue axis. 1, 2, 3/16. Then from this right edge right here, we're going to click. We're going to come in on red axis, 3/16. And again, from that guideline, 3/16. We'll get our pencil tool. And this little line right here, we're going to click, move down and click. I'm going to press escape. That's going to keep us from continuing to draw, so we just simply hit escape and that stops drawing lines. And we're going to get our arc tool, 2-point arc tool, which is this one right here. And then click on the end of the line that we just drew. Come diagonal, click again. And then we're going to move up 3/64. So 3/64. Press return. And then, as we did on the base, we go once again diagonally. And we come in 3/64 again. So 3/64. Press return. At this point, we can go to the display menu and delete all of our guides. And we'll go ahead and collapse that so it's not in our way. It's probably a good point to go ahead and save this drawing. So I'm going to come up here to the save icon. We are going to call this 2 underscore top underscore your last name. So whatever your last name is, that's where it's going to end. So 2 underscore top underscore your last name, and we'll click OK. It's going to save it in Google Drive. So I am going to go into here, sort by name, go into 7th grade, and bear with me while I go to where I need to go to save it. And I'm going to put mine in the gumball machine and SketchUp for Schools videos. You, I'm sure, are just saving it in your regular tech folder. So that is now, as it says right here, it is saved. So I'm going to orbit the drawing so I can pretty much see the whole top right here. I'm going to get the Follow Me tool, which is part of the Push-Pull tool. So I'm going to click on Push-Pull, but I'm going to get the Follow Me tool. I'm going to select that. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on the surface. I'm going to hold the Control key down, move up to the top of the item. Notice how I had clicked on there, and I moved up here, and then I click again, and it does the top. So I'm going to undo that so that I can show you that again. So once again, I come here. This was probably on push-pull. I'm going to get the Follow Me tool. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click this surface right here. I'm going to hold the Control key down, move to the top of the object, and click. And it should do that. Now, some of you may find there's a lot of black lines on this surface. If that's the case, don't worry about that. That does, I honestly got to tell you, I don't know why it happens to some of the drawings and not others, but if you're getting a lot of black lines through this space, it's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just a setting on your computer or within your software that causes that. So again, if you're getting a bunch of black lines, don't worry about it. Not a big deal at all. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and just click the Save button. And we're going to go ahead and put some pins on top now. Okay, so once again, I'm going to go to my this time I'm going to go to my Views menu, and once again I'm going to go into Top View and collapse it so it's out of the way. I'm going to get my tape measure tool, and from the top edge, I'm going to click. I'm going to start moving down, but then I'm going to move my mouse over to this edge right here till I find the center point. And I'm going to click. Now, I want to pin here and here, but I want them to be an equal distance from the center each way. So I'm going to take my tape measure tool. I'm going to click on this left edge over here. I'm going to move up to the top of the piece, and I'm going to find the midpoint, which is right there. That's what that blue dot is, midpoint, and I'm going to click. So now that gives me the center line. So this is the actual center of the object. And I need a circle over here, and I need a circle over here. And that distance away from here is 2 5/8 of an inch. So the distance from here. So I click on the center guideline, and I move over 2.625. 0.625 is the decimal equivalent of 5/8. So if you take 5 divided by 8, which of course is what 5/8 means, if you take 5 divided by 8, you will get a decimal, 0.625. So if we go 2 5/8, that's the same as going 2.625. I press return, and then I'm going to come here, go this way the same amount, 2.625, press return, and I've created this point and this point, which are the same distance from the center. So to finish things up, we're going to draw a couple circles, and we're going to pull them up. So we'll get our circle tool, which is part of the shapes tool right here in the middle. So I'm going to go to circle. And I'm going to draw a circle from this intersection. Again, when you draw circles, got to go straight out. Don't go at some strange angle. Just go straight out on red axis. And we're going to go 1/8. So 1/8, press return. We're going to do the same thing over here. Click. You could even go on red axis to the left if you so choose to do. Don't have to, but you could. And we'll do 1/8, press return. Now I'm going to orbit the piece. I'm going to zoom into this. Click on the circle, pull it up, 0.5, press return. Zoom out, zoom back into this circle, click, pull it up, 0.5, press return. And now we have our pins that are sticking up a 1/2 inch. Orbit around, take a look at the drawing. So we've got our decorative edge around the edges, and we have our pins, which will eventually go into the side rails when we assemble it next week. So I'm done with this drawing. However, what I do want to do at the end of any drawing that we do is go into the display menu, and we're going to delete all of the guides. So we're going to delete the guides, collapse this, and we're going to click on the Save button. Now that you've deleted your guides and saved it, I'm going to ask you to send that to me either through Google Classroom or attach it to an email. However you want to do it is fine with me. All right, so next you can move on to the video. We're going to do the gutter, and then we're going to finish things up with the barrel. So, see you in the next video.